What's up, everybody? Shauna D Man here. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are doing great. Hope you guys are having yourselves a great week. We are back with episode 8 review of Daredevil Born Again, and this one probably felt a little bit like the Netflix version, but still a little slow, I guess. But I mean, it wasn't bad. Like I probably enjoyed it a little bit more compared to some of the other episodes. But obviously, the episode picks up with like Poindexter being transferred from so I think solitary confinement to general population. I'm pretty sure I said this. I kind of said this, but it didn't turn out the way I thought it was, because I thought as we went on with the series, Fisk was going to revert back to his kingpin persona, and then probably he's going to be the face, but Vanessa's going to kind of run things behind the scenes to where it's not going to implement him since he is the mayor. But obviously we know Vanessa was running things while Fisk was away, and quite surprised on how this episode ended. Um, I don't know how those guards didn't recognize Poindexter. Like you would think they would recognize him. Why he's like dressed up in a police uniform, and like I would assume you would recognize his face. And then we kind of get more information, and I guess this is I the whole thing about Foggy's death, and then so we kind of get a light shown on it. So obviously the series does a bad job. Again, that probably has to stem from them reworking a lot of these episodes, but the series does a bad job of setting up why Bullseye killed Foggy. And it was this whole thing with at the beginning of the series, we're watching it, and it's just like, oh, maybe revenge against Matt, Foggy, and Karen. But I'm pretty sure he doesn't know. Poindexter doesn't know that Matt is Daredevil. But obviously, what we learn is Foggy was drinking a specific type of whiskey, or a specific drink, celebrating that he was going to win his case. And Matt figures that somebody must have hired Poindexter to kill Foggy. Lo and behold, it turns out it was Vanessa. Vanessa, it doesn't really explain why she did it. I'm sure that will come out next week with the episode 9, with the final episode. But that is something that's still not clear on why she hired Poindexter to kill Foggy. Now, Foggy was, I think, the lead person on the case, and it looked like he was about to win because he was celebrating. She had him killed. And so that kind of like pieces that together. And he walks out of Josie's bar, and Josie's just kind of like, he walked without using his cane, and because Sherry showed up, and he's just like, oh, I didn't notice. And so so we get the reason I'm mainly want to talk about the ending of the episode, and then I'll backtrack to some of the little other things throughout the episode. But obviously Matt shows up at the black tie event. He's thinking this is a way that Fisk is going to use Heather's traumatic experience with Muse and her killing Muse to help push the vigilante task force, because we hear earlier in the episode that vigilante crimes, or they describe them as crimes, is down 30%. I would have liked to maybe see some maybe like one-off vigilantes that you could show the police officers taking down, the task force taking down. I thought that would have been a cool little aspect that you could have added, because obviously Fisk knows about Jessica. Yeah, I assume he knows about Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist. Obviously, there's the Punisher. Um, I would have liked to maybe just see like some off-brand vigilantes or some vigilantes that you made up just to watch the task force take them down and that kind of thing. Um, so speaking of the task force, I felt bad for that poor press guy. Powell like just took his hand and just put in some hot. Oh God, I felt so bad for him. And you can tell Officer Gallo is just like he's not in control here. Fisk has his hand on everything, and he runs into BB, and kind of like, hey, if you have some information for me, I'm your girl, because like we get, which I kind of figured this as well, because Gallo says to her, did you know that Fisk was the leading man in your uncle's murder? And she was like, yeah, I did. But now I was curious on like why she spun the Muse task force storyline in the show, but it was mainly just to play an angle. I don't really care for the BB and Daniel little subplot or whatever it is going. It hasn't really worked. I don't really care for it, but I do like she's worked her way into potential like being able to get information, because now Daniel is the head of like mayor of communications or something like that, some big gig. And she even says to Gallo that I don't post everything under my name. So she probably has different aliases that she goes by when posting information to get out to the public. So she's still working her job, even though she knows Daniel basically threatened her, to say the least. He said it without saying it, in my opinion. She spun that story, and even he was like, Gallo was just like, oh, when did you become Fisk Miss Propaganda? And she counters back saying probably the same time you became head of his SS, and talking about the task force, and he's like, well, I have every file, every corrupt cop that's on the task force. And she's like, you know what? Let me see those files. And she's like, you know what? I gotta go back to work. And she just turns on her party persona, gets where Daniel have shots. So she's a class act for sure. So Matt tries to push the button when it comes to Fisk, trying to get Fisk to reveal his real self. Because earlier in the episode, I figured he was going to die, but Vanessa shoots at him. And now their relationship is fixed. But the most interesting thing was, again, it's Vanessa. I don't know. It feels like there was two different plans going on. That because Fisk, because Matt and Heather are dancing close to Fisk and Vanessa, and Fisk is talking to where Daredevil can hear him, and he's talking about like how you knew there would be consequences and stuff like that. So if I felt like there was like he had his own plan, but obviously Vanessa probably had her own plan. Because Buck gets the call that Poindexter had escaped, and obviously that's when Vanessa kind of like red alert went off. Like you could like she was ready to leave, and she basically hired Poindexter to kill Fisk. I wonder because Matt goes, he hears the clicking of the gun, he goes and dives in front of Fisk to, you know, take the bullet for him, and they look like I'm so. Oh man, I'm just. What's the again? Obviously, this is probably going to be explained in episode 9. But did Vanessa? Because does Vanessa want to be back in power? Does she want to be the kingpin again? She can't do that with Wilson here, so she's going to take out Wilson, and then, you know, obviously pin it on Poindexter and things like that. Because Poindexter, again, he got moved from solitary confinement to general population, and we learned that it was Mayor Fisk. However, more than likely it was Vanessa that did it. So that is quite an interesting thing, because obviously I don't think we were done with Poindexter, because he showed up in like a mid-season trailer with him like with his broken tooth, because Matt bashed his head in and he took his tooth out, and that smile, and then he right into the police officer's eye, and then he kills the doctor and other police officer, and escapes. I don't know, man. It's episode 8 was it definitely felt a little bit like the Daredevil series, but I think it's just because these other episodes that they have put out have just not been good. Like they really, let's be clear, they have not been good. Oh, another thing that made me mad was, so Matt's talking to Kristen, and he's talking about how, like, you know, he feels like they're babysitting chaos. They're not delivering justice, because he talks about Poindexter. He got life in prison. Hector Ayala, they helped him. He ended up getting killed or getting murdered. And then he brings up Leroy Bradford, who got arrested for eating cereal when he already had like 11 other prior convictions and criminal record, arrest and all that. And so I was like, stop. Just stop it. Like that. Oh God. Like to this day, that whole Leroy prison scene pissed me off. And so I did not like that one bit. I've adamantly hated that scene, but it's whatever. So we're about to finish up with season 1 of Daredevil Born Again. One episode left, and well, let me see if I can find it. I think I'm trying to see who. I think there was a tweet I saw. Wait, which one am I on? I'm on this one. I was trying to find I wish I would have bookmarked it, because there was a specific tweet that I was looking for that was talking about the Daredevil series, because it was kind of like episode 8 is like, I think it was like the tweet was like episode 8 is the turning point of this season, but you had basically 7 other filler episodes before it. So I don't know. One episode left. And overall, my feelings about the show have not changed. Like, I thought this show was not very good. And again, I'm just giving my thoughts about it. There were some good aspects in it, but overall, this series has been a letdown. We'll see what episode 9 does, if it somehow sticks the landing or whatever. But we'll definitely see what happens next week. But guys, if you're new to the channel, be sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Be sure you comment below. Tell me what you guys thought about the episode. What do you guys thought about this series as a whole? And I will see you guys in the next video. Y'all have a good one.